The dreaded budget. We regularly hear that there's no budget, or we don't have any money, or we're waiting to budget for the next fiscal cycle. And it does seem like the procurement and the budget overlords make it look like the money drives the projects rather than the projects driving the money. A bit like the tail wagging the dog. But what you need to do if you want to get your project done is to stay strong, build your case, and be prepared for the budgeting whenever you can get it. And the best way to be prepared is to plan early. Many of our clients are in the public sector and they're on the June 30th fiscal cycle. So the fiscal year goes from July 1st through June 30th. And end of quarter one, so kind of March timeframe, beginning of quarter two, April, bleeding into May. That's when a lot of people start ramping up I have a project, I need to start looking for some money. Then when you're in late May and into June, it's scramble mode. A lot of folks are trying to get last minute proposals in or budgets in, but by then it's often too late. So you need to plan ahead and plan early. The worst thing you can do is wait. Do not wait until it's end of May. You say, well, I know I've needed to do this, but it's May, the budget cycle's coming up, people are asking for our proposals, the procurement people are asking for proposals for the next fiscal year, so I better start looking for scanning companies to get my project done. The problem with that is it can take some time to even create a scope of work, get the right pricing, and if it's the end of June when you're submitting your proposal, the budget's already assigned, it's already allotted, you're not gonna get it done. So by planning early, let's say, quarter one, early quarter two, you stay ahead of the curve as much as you can. The gist is, as soon as you know or think you need to get a scanning project done, start doing your research, start contacting scanning companies like BMI, and start building that scope and price schedule so you can submit something to your procurement team and be prepared. And tied in with planning early and being prepared is to revisit and iterate your project. Projects are living things. It's not I built the scope once, I have the pricing, and it's good for all time, especially if you maybe got it at the beginning of a fiscal year. Let's say you got a scope for a project back in August of the last cycle, and now it's April. Make sure that project is still relevant, the pricing's relevant, the scope is relevant, the company's still around, things like that. Let's say you built a scope of work with a company, you have your pricing, you know what you're gonna do, and it was done in March. Well, after about a month or so let's say it's late April, early May, you can reevaluate. Maybe you purge some files that you don't need anymore and you go back to them and say, hey, can we update this? Or you're about to submit it because your procurement folks are asking for proposals and you're already prepared. You can reevaluate and say, hey, scanning company, is this still valid? I want to make sure before I submit it because this is my chance to get the money. I don't want to send it and then get the money and oops, we actually needed an additional $20,000 that now I don't have. So let's do an example. Let's say it was March and you got a scope and a proposal for a $50,000 project, and the budget folks, they said, you know what, you're gonna have to wait till next fiscal year. We just don't have money to assign to this. It's not gonna be available. You go, okay, great. Well, at least I have the scope of work, I'm ready to go. But then it's early May, and you actually hear through the grapevine, there is $30,000 actually available for a project of the type that you wanna do. And so you have a $50,000 project, you know there's $30,000. Instead of starting from scratch and having to go find a company and build that scope of work and the project plan, you can just go back to the company you worked with and say, your proposal is 50, I have 30 available, how can we adjust this to make it work so we can at least get something started? The reason that was able to happen is because you were prepared, you already had a plan, and you just had to tweak and adjust it along the way instead of starting from the beginning. So you were able to go back, adjust the scope, which lowers the price, and then probably within a day or two, you send it back to the procurement people and say, here's my plan, I'm ready to go. And you're more likely to get funded if you are prepared rather than you're spending 2-3 weeks, who knows, even a month, and now it's late May, early June trying to get your budget in. Instead, you had it in a couple days, you're ready to go. Boiling everything down, no money, no problem. Plan as if you have the money. If you know there's a project that needs to get done, find the scanning company you want to work with, get their scope of work, collaborate, build that plan, get the pricing, and be prepared to present that when you need to. Also, it is important that you make the case why it needs to get done. No one ever wants to spend money if they don't have to. So you need to make sure it's not just, here I have a project, but here I have a project, and this will help our department do X, or it will reduce the time we spend on Y. Whatever it is, it's money assigned to a benefit. And we've worked with clients for 67 years now, and we've seen many, many cycles. Sometimes you just don't get the money, you push it to the next cycle. Sometimes it's early June and you get told, hey, we actually have funds. If you have a project, we can get this done. So being prepared for any eventuality allows you to be flexible and adaptable. It's better to have a plan and not need it than to need it and not have it. So plan early and be prepared. Tied into all this planning, so we talked about the budgeting related to it, but how do you actually plan for a project? You can watch this video here that talks about the different phases in a rollout for your project. Thanks for watching.